The next section is monomer and polymer over tip service. Please apply a nail tip and monomer and polymer overlay on one nail. You have 32 minutes to complete this section. You'll be informed when you have 16 minutes remaining. You may begin. Clean and then disinfect manicure table and chair with an appropriate EPA-approved disinfectant. Always make sure to close the lids of your containers when you're not using them. Step 1. Sets up manicure table. Tape or clip a plastic bag that can be closed securely to the right side of the table if you are right-handed, or to the left if you are left-handed. These bags must be sealed and thrown away after each client to prevent product vapors from escaping into the salon air. Always sanitize your hands after touching any trash receptacle. Place a clean cloth to cover the width of your surface. Take an additional cloth and wrap the client's arm cushion. Place your abrasives and buffers to the left or right. You may also use a drawer if one is available for immediate use. Never place used materials in your drawer. Step 2. Sanitize and/or clean hands. Step 3. Prepare the nail for surface. Gently push back the eponychium using a wooden stick, pusher, or other suitable implement, and carefully remove the cuticle tissue from the nail plate. File the free edge of nail if needed. Remember to only file in one direction from outer edge of the nail to the center. Buff very lightly over the nail plate with a medium fine abrasive to remove the shine. Remove the dust with a clean, dry nail brush. So remember, we're still only under step 3, preparing the nail for surface. Okay. Now, we're going to apply the nail dehydrator. It's important to remember not to touch the natural nail with your fingers. When you open your containers, also be careful not to touch the container to your cotton pad so that you won't contaminate it. Close it with one finger. Also note that I resealed the bag that I removed the cotton from. You don't necessarily have to zip it closed. As long as it's folded shut, that will be sufficient. Now that the nail dehydrator is applied, being careful not to touch the natural nail, throw your cotton away, reseal your trash bag, and sanitize your hand. The next step is step 4. Select and apply your nail tip. Choose properly sized tips and ensure that they cover the nail plate from sidewall to sidewall. Use nail adhesive to apply the properly sized nail tips by either applying the adhesive to the natural nail or to the well of the tip. Less is more in this situation. If you're having trouble, try rocking the tip onto the natural nail. Step 5, trim nail tip. If you happen to have that nail tip go across the room, go pick it up and throw it away. But throw it away regardless. And remember, sanitize your hands after you go in the trash. Step 6, blend the nail tip. Use a 180 grit file and buffing block to carefully smooth the contact area until it is flush with the natural nail. Step 7, apply monomer and polymer to nail tip. Apply nail primer. Release excess primer from the brush and dab the brush to the prepared natural nail only. Avoid applying primer to the nail tips. Always remember to close the lids of the containers when you're finished. Next, pour monomer liquid and polymer powder into separate dappen dishes. Okay, dip your brush into the monomer liquid and press it down to remove all of the air bubbles. Technically, that's not a step, but it will make it much easier for you. Now, wipe it off. Dip the brush into the monomer liquid and wipe on the edge of the container to remove the excess. You do not want your brush to be too wet. I like to dip once, wipe on the paper towel, and then dip again on one side and wipe on the side of the container. Dip the tip of the same brush into the polymer powder and rotate slightly. Pick up a bead of product with a medium to dry consistency, not runny or wet. Place the bead in the center of the free edge of the tip or natural nail. Immediately wipe the brush on your table towel to remove any product and bring the tip of your brush back to a perfect point. So use the middle portion or belly of your brush to press and smooth the product to shape the enhancement's free edge. Never paint the product onto the nail. Pressing and smoothing produces a more natural looking nail. Keep sidewall lines parallel and avoid widening the tip beyond the natural width of the nail plate. Using a medium consistency, place the second bead on the nail plate below the first bead and next to the free edge line in the center of the nail. Immediately wipe your brush to remove any product left in the bristles and bring the tip back to the perfect point. Continue pressing and smoothing the product to the sidewalls, making sure that the product is very thin around the edges. Avoid placing the product too close to the skin. This may cause the product to lift away from the nail plate or increase the chance of the client developing a skin irritation or sensitivity. Be sure to use a medium consistency that is not too wet. Pick up smaller beads of polymer powder with your brush and place them at the base of the nail plate, leaving a tiny free margin between the product and the skin. Immediately wipe your brush on the table towel to remove any product left in the bristles and bring the brush back to a perfect point. Use the brush to press and smooth beads over the entire nail plate. Glide the brush over the nail to smooth out imperfections. Apply more product if needed to complete the application. Be sure the product remains thin for a natural looking nail. While you're waiting for your nail to dry, you can start cleaning up the things at your station that you won't need anymore. It's easy to tell that the nail is dry because when you tap on it with the edge of a brush, it makes a clicking sound. Once the surface is dry, use 180 grit abrasive to shape the free edge and to remove imperfections, then refine. Now, step 8. Finish the nail. Buff the nail enhancement until the surface is smooth. Remove any dust with a clean, dry nail brush. Now, properly dispose of waste material and ensure your workstation remains sanitary. Clean your station and your chair, remove your waste bag, sanitize your hands, and raise your hand.